Hey everyone, it's Tom with Fresh Vintage. Today we're checking out this awesome yellow Ferrari.
Oh, it's actually not a Ferrari. It's a
What?
Pontiac.
What? This is a Pontiac?
Came from a factory like this.
That's right, folks. This is an 87 Pontiac Mira, right?
Yes, that is correct.
And we are here with Nat. Nat, thanks so much for taking the time to be here. Really, really appreciate it.
Of course.
Tell us about this Pontiac.
So this is an 87 Pontiac Mara. It was built by a company called Corporate Concepts in conjunction with General Motors. Sold new at Pontiac dealerships. This car was offered with a 6-year, 60,000-mile warranty. And could be serviced at any Pontiac dealership around the country. Every body panel that you see on this car was built in a factory in Dearborn, Michigan, and has a GM factory stamp on it and a factory VIN panel on it. It has a slightly widened and slightly lengthened Fiero chassis underneath. Uses the same 2.8-liter V6 and GetRag 282 5-speed. Makes about 140 horsepower and some amount of torque. Doesn't really matter though. They built 247 of these cars until Ferrari sued them, as the dealers were putting these Ferrari badges on the cars instead of Mara badges that they came from with the factory.
And let's jump to, we'll look at the front and then we'll walk to the back right now, because you're saying the dealers were prying the original factory badges off and they were doing this.
Yes.
And then let's go to the back, because I heard people talking about this. They were talking about the dealers putting this on as well. And the horse, it was a Pegasus, right? It wasn't this horse, but
Yes.
the dealers were again doing this as well?
Yes.
Okay. And were they putting this on as well, I'm assuming?
Yes,
Okay.
they were.
Okay.
All of those badges are just glued on, so
Okay.
it was very easy for dealers to just pry them off and then glue on the Ferrari badges, which could be bought from Ferrari dealers. One very interesting thing about the Mara, with it being a factory-produced project, is that the taillights actually say Mara 1 on them.
They actually say they do say marijuana on them. Wow. But in the greater world, Nat, of litigation, so to speak, if there's a textbook example, folks, on how to get sued, this is how you get sued by Ferrari, so to speak. They're well known for suing companies, right? Am I right?
Yes,
Yeah.
this is a
Yeah.
rolling lawsuit,
Yeah.
and it ended up resulting in a very, very expensive lawsuit for Pontiac.
Yeah.
This car played a major role in the ending of the Fiero project due to how expensive the lawsuit was for General Motors.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people watching will just say this is just a big Fiero, so to speak. Can we look at the engine? Because
Of
it's
course.
I'll take this here from you. Thank you. This is a 2.8-liter V6, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And I believe at some point I don't know, did you guys change it to say Ferrari, or did the
A
previous
owner did.
So the previous owner, dressed it up, Ferrari and stuff, but it didn't come from the factory like that, you're saying? So,
No, it
okay.
just came as a blank red V6 as it would on a Fiero.
Okay.
It would have had no decals at all except for, the emissions decals that you'd see reminding you about coolant and making sure that you follow the special coolant procedure.
Okay. And these are these factory stickers?
Yes.
Okay.
All of these stickers that you see here are factory, and they tell you about emissions, vacuum lines, and then this shows you the Mara conversion code and the paint code.
And is this the factory yellow? Okay, so that's a DuPont paint code. So this is a factory color then. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, thank you for popping the engine bay here. What about the interior here? Did it come? It didn't come with that steering wheel, did it?
No, that's an
Okay.
aftermarket Momo steering wheel.
Okay.
And then that is a aftermarket shift knob, as well as another aftermarket VIN plate piece.
I see
that
that.
was put
Okay.
in by a previous
You can
owner.
catch that VIN plate in there. Oh, sorry. Oh, there's the door handle. We were wondering. So.
Yeah, the door handle is actually hidden right in here. Ferrari put the door handle up here.
So it's right in here. And you were saying that, I heard you talking to some folks, GM tried and obviously failed to make this different enough to where they couldn't get sued, so to speak.
Yeah, they were looking to make enough minor differences in the body to avoid a lawsuit, which they were successful in doing. But the moment the dealers started putting those Ferrari badges on, that's when they breached the intellectual property part of the law book.
I just chuckle as we stand here. It sounds exactly like something 80s GM would do, honestly. And you were even talking about how part of the Corvette teams were getting frustrated with the Pontiac teams because the Pontiacs were starting to possibly compete with Corvette sales, so to speak. Is that
Yes.
you're right?
These cars, Pontiac was in their era of producing excitement. Pontiac builds excitement. They were trying to build performance cars. And the problem with having a performance division is you're going to outpace GM's main performance car, the Corvette. And as a result, GM was going through and slashing Pontiac's budgets. They were killing off performance projects. They were basically axing everything that Pontiac stood for.
Yeah.
So a project like this is kind of a massive middle finger to everybody.
Yeah, and it sounds like I was saying about the classic 80s GM. So I was wondering, could we see the headlights pop up?
Of course.
That'd be awesome. Thank you. And I'll put this back down here on the. There we go.
Thank you. Yeah.
So wrapping things up here, awesome Pontiac here. Really appreciate this. It's a really, really fantastic story. Nat, thank you very, very much. Really appreciate your time and for bringing this out. You said you bought this from someone who wanted it to go to people who would appreciate it, and not just hide it away. Like he actually wanted it to be shown at events such as this to the world, because I've never heard of this. And there's only how many were built originally?
Only 247 of these cars were built.
Okay.
Currently, there's only 13 of them that are known to be left in the U.S. that are roadworthy. There's some that are being restored, and there are probably other undocumented cars. We have a registry for Pontiac Meras, and we encourage other owners to add them to the registry.
And you want to shout the registry out here?
It's literally just pontiacmera.com.
Okay.
Very easy to look up.
And you went as far as say Ferrari in the lawsuit, they requested all the dies be destroyed. Like they have terminated everything. So
they had the plant shut down, the dies were destroyed, most of the literature regarding the cars were destroyed. They wanted them effectively scrubbed from the earth.
From existence. So okay. Nat, thank you very, very much. Really, really appreciate your time. Thanks so much for bringing this. This is a piece of Americana. Probably a forgotten piece of Americana, but we definitely love seeing stuff like this on Fresh Vintage. If you like classic cars, if you like muscle cars, if you like Pontiacs, if you like Ferraris, if you like DIY scan tools and car repair, Fresh Vintage is your channel. Please like and subscribe, and make sure you keep it between the ditches.